hello guys, hey girls, hey everybody. Thank you so much for tuning into Carol's Daily Sauce. Please do me a favor, please like, comment, and definitely subscribe. Please also share, because you know sharing is most definitely caring. Please, please, please. I just wanted to come to you guys, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all know I got allergies. I ain't digging in my nose, just scratching above my lip. Just wanted to come to you guys and just share a story time. A story time. I was just filming another video, and right at the very end, I decided that I was going to do this one. So this is a video of how I met and married my dear husband, Will. Or we call him Jax. He is my knight in shining armor. He really, really is. As most of you may already know, I was married one time before. However, that didn't work out, and God had me alone for a little while. I dated, all that kind of stuff, but nobody, there was talk of marriage, but nobody, it was the one person that actually talked about marriage with me ended up marrying someone else, which is fine with me. I mean, I couldn't see myself marrying him anyway. As a matter of fact, if my children knew who I was referring to, they probably go, bah, and just fall out. But he was a very helpful person in my life through a period in my life. However, marrying him, no, would not have been a thing. But anyway, let's talk about the wonderful man at hand. His name is Mr. Jax, and he is a lovely man. He is a quiet storm. And what happened was, it was on a very hot summer day in California. My husband is not from the same city that I'm from. The city that my husband is from and the city that I'm from are about 40 minutes apart, maybe 40, 45, depending on traffic. My husband actually lived in what they call the Bay Area. I lived in Solano County, and he lived in Alameda County, and ended up moving to Solano County. So he came down to where I live, the city I lived in, Fairfield, and he liked it because it's a very quiet city. However, Fairfield is somewhat of changing, just like all over the world is. But long story short, I was going to the library. I had to go make some copies or something. And I got out of my car. I'm well known for wearing summer dresses in the summertime. I don't want nothing gaping and touching all on me, a whole bunch of fussiness. I don't want all that. So I got out of the car, and I want you guys to know where my mind state was at this time. At this particular time, I was at a point in my life where I made no eye contact with men. I basically was like, if I say I don't want to see you, I don't want to see you. Don't come to my house. It was almost like when a woman is fed up, ain't nothing you can do about it. That's what it was. So anyway, long story short, I got out of the car and I was walking toward the doors of the library. I did see in my peripheral vision this man, and he was kind of thick in a good way, you know what I'm saying? Because I kind of like seen him from my peripheral, but I didn't see him, you know what I'm saying? And so I noticed that he was walking towards the same way I was, but then he turned around and then he came back, and I'm like, what is this man doing? And from what I can understand, he was telling his best friend, I have to get off the phone with you. I believe I just seen my wife. So he got off the phone and he told me, you know, hi, how you doing? And I said, I'm doing well, how are you? And he said, oh, I'm good. I'm good. That's a pretty dress that you have on. And I said, thank you. This is a summer dress that my sister gave me. Yeah, my sister, my older sister gave me, but thank you so much. And I said, okay, you have a good day. And I left and I went into the library. Okay, if anybody doesn't know, now you know, I read everything. I read news stories, I read things on the internet, I read internet blogs, I read devotionals, daily devotionals every day. I read the Bible. I read, y'all, I'm a reader. I just read. And so in a section in our library, there is a place where you can get discounted books. So when I went in, I was like, hey, they got a whole bunch of discounted books. I said, okay, so once I finish printing my paperwork, I will stop and look at these discounted books. And so I printed my paperwork and I stopped to look at the discount book. Now I can't remember the name of the book, and the book actually is in storage right now. But the book is a story about a young lady who is actually now a minister, and she ended up falling in love with a young man, and she fell in love with him when they were very young, and they had been married a long time, and he in turn, he and she had went on a vacation to, I want to say the Cayman Islands. As a result of it, he and she were snorkeling, and he went under and he never came back up, and they never recovered his body. And that book, I was like, oh my God, I've got to get this. It was 50 cents. I ended up getting that one, and I ended up getting like 3 more. But in my peripheral vision, y'all, I noticed this guy again. And by this time I had looked, and he was light skinned. Okay, I'm gonna get close, y'all, because y'all gonna let y'all see. I'm caramel complected, right? He was light skinned, not Caucasian, but light skinned. And I could look at my husband and tell that my husband was mixed. Now, I didn't know if it was black and white. Oh, my light bulb just went out. Hold on, y'all. Oh, uh-oh. Okay. I was like, oh, that's going back to Walmart because I just bought that. Okay. So I didn't know if he was black and white or Indian and black, but I kind of leaned more toward Indian and black by looking at him, because his hair was wavy, but it was like, see, there's a difference between being Caucasian and black mix. It depends on the grade. It depends. I mean, you can have a Caucasian and black mixed child with really kinky coily hair. You really can. I mean, I've seen it. But it was something about him where actually he really didn't look like he was black and white. He looked like he was Indian and black or Mexican, because many times people walk up to me and my husband speaking Spanish. I guess they think I'm a Dominican or, and that's what a lady said to me, Dominican and Hispanic is what, you know, in California, they walk up to me in Walmart talking at it, and I don't know what they're saying. Yeah, he does a little bit. But anyway, so I said, okay, he's still out there. Why is that man still out there? And he's looking at me. So he's looking inside the library at me, and I'm like, dude, I don't want to be bothered. Okay, I mean, y'all, I couldn't even tell you. This is how much tunnel vision I had. I seen his hair and I seen his complexion, but I couldn't even tell you how he looked in the front part of his face. I had no idea. So anyway, Long story short, I pay for my books, I go out to my car, and as I'm going out to my car, I always put my keys inside of my purse because I'm good at leaving them laying around. So when I get out of the car, I automatically put them inside my purse. That way I don't have to worry about losing them. Years ago, I had let my baby boy hold them, and he threw them up in the air in the store, and they went up under one of the racks, up under one of the shelving, and they had to pull all that out. So honey, I learned a long time ago, put your keys in your purse. Your kids, if you've done something crazy, I learned. So I'm going out, and as I'm going out, I see him. He didn't say anything to me, okay? He didn't say, have a good day, nothing. So I'm just going to the car. So as I'm going to the car, I notice, oh, I gotta, put the purse on the back of my car because I gotta get the keys. Now, I often ask myself, did I do that? But I do that all the time. I always stop at the back of my trunk to get my keys. So I'm at the back of my trunk getting my keys, and I get in my car, and it's hot. So my windows are rolled up, right? Turn on my air conditioner, turn on my music, and y'all, my car is reversing out, okay? The next thing I know, this man come running up to my car talking about, roll down your window. And I'm like, can I talk to you for a second? And I'm looking at him like this. What you want to talk to me about? Through the window, yeah. Hadn't come down yet. He said, I just want to talk to you. He said, pull back up, I want to talk to you. Pull back up, crack my window about that much. And I'm like, what you want to talk to me about? And he said, I'd like to get to know you better. And I went, oh, okay, you'd like to get to know me better. I said, what you want to get to know me for? Well, I think you're a nice looking lady, and I'd just like to get to know you better. And I said, oh, okay. I said, well, hey, this is what we'll do. I said, I'll give you my number. You don't need to give me yours, because I'm not going to call. I'm just telling you, I'm not going to call you. You can give me your number. If you decide to give me a call, please wait for an hour and a half to at least 2 hours later, because I have an appointment later on this evening, and I don't want to be in my appointment and the phone is ringing. And I said, and we exchanged. He said, my name is Will, and I said, oh, it's good to meet you, Will. And he said, and I said, my name is Carol. He said, it's good to meet you, Carol. And he said, you sure are pretty. And I said, thank you. And, he said, well, I'll give you a call. I'll give you a call. Okay. So when I drove away, I do know that he had a big smile. Remember though, I don't look in no man's eyes. So I couldn't even tell you what his eyes looked like. He was a nice Indian tan brown complexion. He had beautiful hair, and he had a big old pretty smile. So I was like, okay, well, we'll see. But you hear that all the time. I'll give you a call, or if they do give you a call, they sneak in to give you a call because they got a woman or they got a wife or whatever. I didn't want to be bothered with that no more. I was done, okay? So went to my appointment, told my mother, this guy I met at the library, he seemed to be really nice, blah, 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 blah. And my mother's like, oh, that's nice. And so I left my appointment. My mom and I were in the car. We left the appointment. Y'all, an hour and a half later, my phone was ringing. And I said, who is this calling me? Because, I didn't know. It was him. And he said, how you doing? And I said, I'm fine. Who is this? And he said, this is Will. I said, oh, okay. You did say you were going to call, and I told you an hour and a half, 2 hours, and you're right on it, huh? He said, oh, yeah, I, wanted to call you and see how you were doing, make sure you made it to your appointment, okay, and just see how everything is going with you for the rest of the evening. I was like, oh, all righty then. So I told him that I was on my way to my mom's house to get my car, and that I would call him once I got home in about 15, 20 minutes. 15, 20 minutes later, I walk in my house. I had already cooked dinner for my kids earlier throughout the day, because at that time I did still have my son, who was at that time 16, 15, 16, and my daughter, my older daughter, was living with me. And you know, I went back in my room and got on my phone, and Will and I talked about, he told me where he was from, I told him where I was from, I told him how many children I had, he told me how many children he had, he told me what he wanted out of life, I told him what I wanted out of life, I told him that I would like to be married, but unfortunately in this world and in this life, there are no true gentlemen anymore. And he said that he would like to be married once again. And so we was on the phone. I think we may have got off the phone one time because I had to go use the bathroom, and then I got back on the phone with him. Me and Will were on the phone until we actually fell asleep on the phone until 4 o'clock in the morning. To make a long story short, Will and I have been together every day ever since. I have every day ever since. It started off really shaky because my children didn't really accept a lot of people. They didn't really accept a lot of people. They too were kind of damaged from some things that actually had went on in my life, from some choices that I had made. And so what Will had to do was, unfortunately, had to prove himself for a lot of people. And there were just, you know, some times when they just had disagreements. There were times when we had disagreements. In 2005, when him and I decided to get married, we just left and went to Reno. We didn't tell anybody because we didn't know who was going to be happy for us, who was going to be sad for us, who was going to be celebrating with us, or who was going to be fighting to end it. We've been through a lot of things in our life together, in our marriage together. But the one thing that I can truly tell you, and I believe that he would probably say the same, is there is nothing greater than true love. I know that my husband truly does love me. I know that I truly love him. And we went through a time in our life where we were struggling really hard, financially and otherwise. But it did nothing but bring us closer together. As a result of it, we are a lot stronger in our marriage than we could ever be. And he truly is my very best friend. He is my very best friend. I can tell him things that I can tell no one. He actually has taken my sister, my older sister's place in being my best friend, but she knows that I love her. But so I met him at the library, and we've been together ever since. So you can meet cutie pies at the library. They're not all, you know, educational looking with big thick glasses and guts and all that kind of stuff. You can meet really nice guys. I don't know exactly what he was even at the library for, ain't no telling. I didn't even ask him. But I know that I had never seen him at the library. And I used to go to that library all the time, checking out books and things like that. So I know he wasn't a regular, you know. But we're living a good life right now, just doing everything that we can to keep our lines of communication open. We share everything. There is no mine and there is no his. It is most definitely ours. And it works best like that for us. The Bible tells us, you and me, that when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing. And I'm his good thing, and he is my good thing. So that's how Will and Carol met. If you have some questions, go ahead and put them down in the description box. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully you like this video. You'd like to see some more. Give me some ideas of some other things that you'd like to see. Have a wonderful and blessed day. God bless you, and thank you so much for tuning in. I'll talk to you all real soon. Bye-bye.